And welcome back. Well, coming up on Thursday, on the 24th, over at Clubhouse 5, the CCA will be having another one of their events. And this one is entitled Alzheimer's, Is It Preventable? We have Denny Welch here today, of course. We also have Dr. Tren, who you all know has been on our show many times. Good to see you, Denny.
It's good
Doctor,
seeing you.
how you doing?
Good, good.
He was over there, I think, taking a Vine video just a minute ago. He was going like,
That's right.
Good to see you. And I know you've done a lot of events with CCA in the past.
Yes.
And this one focusing on that topic, is it preventable? And I think a lot of folks think about that, especially they may have a family member that gets
Right.
diagnosed with it. And a lot of the thoughts are, well, was this something that we could have seen earlier and maybe prevent, right?
That's right. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about this coming Thursday with that. And it is a big issue in lots of folks' mind, simply because Alzheimer's in Orange County is the third leading cause of death currently. And there is a lot of new data and a lot of research in the pipeline, actually, moving toward the goal of prevention, early detection and prevention, as opposed to trying to capture and stop this disease once it's already in the moderate or late stage.
Is this something that you see more prevalent today? Is it because our research is better, that we detect things differently? With all diseases, it's like
Right.
years and years ago, you didn't hear about autism that much and things like that. Is that why
That's a
you're
good
seeing
example.
this more of, just because you're pinpointing things better?
First, we're living longer.
Yeah.
We are living longer, which is a good thing. But it is also one of the biggest risks for Alzheimer's.
Right.
Is as we live longer, our chances of getting this increases. But secondly, I don't think it's necessarily from technology or things of that sort, because there are other countries where people live just as long as we do, but Alzheimer's is not high on their list of conditions. So the question is, why is it that it is so prevalent in the US? What causes it? And how do we stop it? How do we
Okay.
prevent it?
In essence, what's going on? Is it the, within the brain's getting atrophy? Is there the connections between, I don't know what it would be, one neuron to the other,
That's right.
getting wider and wider? And this is what causes Alzheimer's?
That's right. There is a protein that builds up in the brains of patients with Alzheimer's.
Okay.
It's called amyloid.
Okay, sure.
It is a bad guy because we know that every patient who have Alzheimer's have amyloid in their brain.
Wow.
What we have discovered through research and through our advances in medicine is that by the time you have your very first symptom of Alzheimer's disease, we have found out that this amyloid protein has been building up in our brains for 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
Causing damage, silent damage, 10 to 15 years prior to any symptoms of Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So this is where the prevention comes in.
Yeah.
If we can detect the amyloid, even while you have no symptoms, we can put all the resources we have through clinical research, through things that we know that works, to try to stop this progression before any problem starts.
Now, Denny, you've been doing your CCA events over the years. She brought us all her.
I've done a couple this
Just
year.
a little bit.
And of course, this one, as we said, is focusing on Alzheimer's, which I
Right.
think you've talked
What-
about before, right?
Yes, but what I'm really excited about, I happened to have a hearing exam last week with Stuart Spencer
Right.
from Advanced Ear. And I mentioned the Alzheimer's event coming up. And he said, Denny, are you aware that Alzheimer's and hearing loss are linked together? And I said, they are? Wow. So went back online, and it's been researched by the University of Washington Department of Medicine, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine with Dr. Frank Lynn, the Baltimore longitudinal study on aging. I'm Starkey, Belton, etc.
Sure.
And it's so that there's in our book that there is a discussion of this.
Okay.
One of the ways that we can help prevent it is when our hearing starts to get a little on the iffy side, to go in, have it checked out, have it screened, and many times this has reduced the amount of Alzheimer's and the severity. So I'm really excited because in Laguna Woods, about 50% of our people, we all have hearing loss, but we haven't done anything about it.
That's true.
Now we call and we get our hearing screened, and we can work, and then we can give Dr. Tran the results of the screening test, so that he's got all the results in front of him.
How are they connected?
The brain basically improves with brain exercises. Just in the same way that we exercise our body, we can exercise the brain. We exercise the brain by stimulating the brain. So that can be through reading, that can be through doing crossword puzzles, Sudoku, playing chess. So when we have hearing loss, we are taking away a source of stimulus for that brain. Right?
Got it.
It's like we're cutting down the exercise ability of this brain. And as a result of that, the brain shrinks. And,
so and I know you've talked about that before. It's keeping your mind active, whatever it may be, is obviously helping, right?
That's right.
And it gets down to that people who Starkey Foundation. Unfortunately, that there are people who maybe live alone, or they are not socially active.
Yes.
That can be a detriment. I mean, in your life too, your life in general.
Exactly. It's, I mean, so this crosses over, and in the book that there's a whole page on this.
Okay.
But he says it's much better.
Yeah.
But it basically, all of us seniors, that is one thing that we can do to help prevent Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
They were in one of the tests, there were 100 subjects, and 83 of them had hearing loss. So that's a giant percentage.
Huge.
It is, and people who have hearing loss, just like your sight, it can be minimal, but most people who age are going to have to wear reading glasses or even a basic hearing aid at some point. That's not uncommon at all. Let me ask you a quick question, Doctor. For the individual, what would be a sign or a symptom that maybe they are on the early stages of Alzheimer's, or it's time to get screening for that? Will they even notice? I mean, we all forget things.
We all forget things, that's right. So the best way to screen this problem is to try to detect it before any significant symptom starts. It starts with an annual wellness visit with your doctor. And an annual wellness visit is something that is covered once a year by Medicare, paid for by Medicare. And this visit is a series of prevention testing. And part of that prevention testing is memory testing. And so we can catch someone even before they even realize that they have memory issues. That's the best way to screen. An annual wellness visit, or part of a physical exam where a doctor does a memory test. And we offer those memory tests where I'm at with Irvine Clinical at no cost. But anyone can go to their primary care doctor and request for one. That's
very good.
Covered by Medicare.
Do you know that obviously Medicare has it, but what about people who don't have Medicare that are too young to have that yet? Do you know if most insurance companies will cover something?
Yes,
like that?
as long as the physician indicates the reason for the testing, which is memory loss or some type of complaint that goes along with it. Yeah,
So
typically.
it comes down to, as CCA is always saying, just ask.
Yeah.
That if
That's
you've got
right.
a problem, ask your doctor. Ask him. The worst he can do is say no.
That's true.
And most of
right.
the time he's going to say yes, and he's going to give you a good reason.
All right, so this
right.
event again is coming up this Thursday. You need to RSVP for lunch. It's $2 for lunch, right?
And this is to help us offset the cost of the lunch. It is a
Right.
dietetic approved lunch.
Okay. And your email is dennywelch42@gmail.com. The number is 949-770-5760. And you always put on great events.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we also have our neurological support group is
Okay.
coming up, and that is on Tuesday, September 6th.
Okay,
And
very good.
it's a small group. It's about 40 people, and this is about brain health and your identity.
Okay.
And so, which is part 2,
Yeah.
with Dr. Timothy Yu,
Okay.
who's also from the Irvine Clinical Research, and he's a great speaker. In fact, we should get him on your program.
All right.
He's really a good speaker, and he's young.
All right. Are you suggesting that Dr. Trin isn't young?
Getting a little gray.
Well, I'm the senior one.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on. Denny,
thank
we'll see you. And although this isn't going to be shown live, we are taping it, and then we'll
Yes.
give you dates that we end up showing it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
take it.
hon.
Good to see you. Always
to
good to
see
see
you.
you.
Take
We'll
care.
see you. We're going to see him, is it next week?
Next week, Peru.
Next week, Peru. We're going to
All
talk
right.
about Peru. All right. We'll be right back.